Right. Give me. My desk was in just an abysmal state, right? I've been sorting cards, and as per usual, that never really goes well, right? There's still whole stacks of cards. But yes, High Seas is out, and I have a case. Although so far I have actually cracked two boxes, three boxes, two boxes. Plus, then also I went to the Sealed yesterday, and I also need to talk about bright lights because for some reason I have paper packs, more paper packs than I realized. Right, Everfest was the only one that everyone got paper. Right, Pacific Asia as well as the European / America who get the Belgian print. So yeah, there's actually some other packs I need to chase up as well. But we'll go over pulls, I suppose, from the boxes I have opened first, and then we'll go to the case. And that's just leftovers. Now one more lot of cards. There we go. Nice and simple. Just tuck them in the treasure packs. All your good pulls, right? Face up. Beautiful. So so far, two backs. Majestic wise. Get this stuff out of the way too. My shiny silver, and just a whole bunch of other cards to sort eventually one day. It's always the go no. Just stack up, and then you get to them when you get to them. That's a little better. Now we can make files. So we have Expansion Slot Majestics, Bam Bam, Arcane Compliance, Hit Barkeep, Bench Slots, Sea Legs, Lone Shark, and then Don't Lace Sarong as our first legendary, although the lighting, not favorable. I think it's mainly because the shadows? No, not the shadows. Drop them then. Yeah, there we go. Gold from the treasure pack. Sunken Treasure as one of the gold pirate foil cards, pirate booty foil cards, gold foil cards, right? Don't worry about the cracked bubble, that's just for my collection. Another Sea Lace Sarong. So I pulled one in my first box, and then I also pulled one in my sealed, luckily. Amulets, big game trophy shot, more gold. I did get a Marvel Chowder, Murderous Rebel. So I don't think that's a bad, lesser rarity pirate one to hit right. Billy Bludger, another Tip the Barkeep, another Sea Legs, Escalate Bloodshed, Amethyst Amulets, Undercover Acquisition, Big Game Trophy Shot. So I think I have two of them already, and same with Bam Bam. That's very nice because I like pulling my collection, so to speak, right? So yeah. Weirdly, I think we're actually gonna do the bright lights first, right? I can crack 3 of these packs, and then I also do want to put aside packs of High Seas, right? One of each art, and then also I will save a treasure pack, but then we'll open mostly everything else, right? So bear with me as I get these paper bright lights out. Right, just 3. Yeah. I always think it's 4. Why do I always think it's 4 heroes for bright lights? They put Old Dash in there as playable? No, must have always been 3. So there should be higher priority sets for me to actually frame. I just wanted to frame them because they're paper and, get the horrid wear and tear. That's why I also want the plastic packs. So we will also crack them. And I can tuck away, the paper one, the plastic ones nicely. It's on point. And then we'll crack my seed. And I need a rubbish box. Always a rubbish box. Okay, so yeah, weirdly, we're starting with 3 packs of Bright Light. Were any of these worth saving? I've had decent luck where I've opened framed goodies and found something. But looks like a no on the bright light side. I feel like this is not zoomed out enough. I have to get rid of these back piles so I have more room. And I can put my hands in not awkward positions. The problem is I have like no space around me either because I'm really getting into a hugely bad habit, right? It's just there's cards everywhere. And then I woke up late today. This one's gonna be a nightmare. I don't even know what this is. I think this is mostly just outsiders. And whatever's in here. I think this is actually the decent pile of cards that I pulled out. The actual playable commons and rares. You can even probably hear me. I turn around. But there we go. Proper, livable deck space, right? Not just filled with, hey John, yes, we will be cracking ICs. And I mean, so far, I've already done pretty well, right? 2 boxes and sealed 2 legendaries marble, essentially. A ton of majestics. Actually, this makes me curious about the majestic rate, because I have like a decent stack here. 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 17 majestics out of 2 boxes and 1 sealed. So, is that above? 666 would be 3. Yeah, that is above. Alright. Last bright light, and then the case. Nope. Not even a majestic hiding in my frame packs, unfortunately. Alright. I actually have space to put the case on the table. Okay. Who are we going with for luck? I suppose we should count, see who we got 2 of. I'm surprised they didn't cheekily do like a Scurv box as well. So then they had the 4, right? But then, you know, obviously not show it off. Yeah, double gravy. We'll open gravy first, I think. There we go. Alright. We'll probably end up using the scissors just to open the packs easier. I suppose we'll start with the goodie, right? The treasure pack. I should save the box to put the commons and rares into. Alright, so these are fun, but there are a lot of unfortunate hits as well. Not to mention the you really don't want to, you know, pull on it so hard because it's only 3. I don't know if it's me damaging them, but I have noticed like a few tokens that are kind of scuffed. I'm hoping to build Puffin primarily, but I am going to play Marlin. Just Marlin, aside from like the Go Again and the Legendary, and the disgusting block, right? A Death Dealer build, I think, mainly pulls from previous. We got another gold treasure, so that's the most common one, and then a gold hunter marauder, which again are beautiful. The foiling in this set is fantastic, even on the cold foils, right? Because you know they're different to usual cold foils, where it's just highlights essentially, right? Whereas the majority of the card is now foiled, and they do a much better job at like the transitional effect. That's what you call it, right? But obviously that is not a great card. Is it even playable? Control less gold than an opposing hero. I feel like if they made all the gold hunter cards either less gold or like no one has no gold, then it would have worked. Aside from that, we'll tuck them up there with the treasure stuff. So far, only 1 hit. Yes, the Ranger block card, God. Plus, the like most disgusting turn, right, is Ranger block, the defense reaction, chain reaction into an empty hand to then Codex at instant, right? That's the most disgusting value you can get, and just completely wipes out their turn, potentially because of the discard. Well, no, I suppose they get the arsenal. Maybe it's not that great to play it on their turn. All right, so we're gonna stop and just gloss over the foils because again, they look so beautiful in this set. Actually, I need to. I had a here we go. Yeah, a Count Your Blessings foil, right? So this is a Count Your Blessings foil. It is very light. You can see that by the fact that I can do the same thing with both cards, and it's just way more apparent on the actual longboat on the high seas cards. So I don't know what they've upgraded to, but it is just a lot better, right? And the foils were already pretty cool because they always, it's not blanket foil. It's always been impactfully chosen. So like in Count Your Blessings here, it's the highlights of her robes, the backgrounds, right? Everything else is not. Then on the longboat, it's basically everything foiled, but you get the different stages of where the light hits it, right? Yeah, the foils in this set look gorgeous. Actually, slightly makes me want to veto my I never play foils. Maybe. Just 2 rares so far. A rare, I'll pull the foil aside, and then the rest can be junk. Although, I don't really have space. God, there's never enough space. Hey, Sam. Yep. Cracking packs, chasing... I don't know. I usually just crack till I get sets. So, chasing everything, I suppose. Why is chat not working now? Oh, there we go. So, yes. I have seen that the Belgian printing, some boxes don't have gold packs, and that is rough. Like, really, really rough, considering that's the crux of this. So, yeah. I think, same with the short print cards, right? There's a list floating around of short printed cards. I think that's... Well, no, because that's actually difficult. Because the premiere event, right, was... what's it called? In Asia, in Pacific Asia. So they use the Japanese boxes, hence no paper packs if you're watching, right? But obviously something's gone wrong with Belgium, and Belgium has not always packed the gold packs, and I think the short printing is mainly from the Belgium side, right? So yeah, that's really unfortunate. But yeah, so far have not missed a gold pack, and I don't know anyone around here, Australia, who has. So yeah, this set is going to go 6 ways to Sunday, right? There is so much to love about it, but there's also been these little things that have just gone wrong here or there. Scooby, Jack be quick for our rares, and perk up, which again, just gorgeous foiling. I don't want signed cards. But yes, it would be cool to pull. I don't know. I'm not. He's a godsend, right? He brought us flesh and blood. But I don't know. I don't like signed cards. Tokens and commons. We got 4 chances at it, right? What's 1 in 250 potentially? Ooh. Kraken. This the nice one? Destroy an item. Destroy an item, destroy an ally, destroy a something. I think the something is the one I want. And Mutiny. The Mutiny cards are just super good in sealed. Also gotta remember to check the back since that's where the goodie is, right? So yeah, the Mutiny cards in just Treasure Island fun, right, is just pretty glorious. Treasure Island is by itself has just been a really, really fun interaction. Because it's actually a game style, right? Rather than, the Sanctuary of Aria. It's not about the sign cards, it's about the number. I barely sell stuff. it sits in my collection. But no, yes. Like if I did get, say, a signed heart, I would try and trade just for a normal heart. That would be my go. So far, no M's in this box. We are due, right? Equipment throws me off. I always think the actual pool start. So scrub, cloud, tough old wrench, and a bubble, but I already put one aside. Swell. Swell is also a very, very interesting card, right? I think, God, you want to put in aggro, but then you have to take blue in aggro. So you want to put in big. No, yeah. No, it should just work in big. I'm thinking for Marlin. Cool. And crash down the gates. Take a look at this. Well, this one's not as over the top. It's still pretty nice, right? With like the blue storm clouds and mist being foiled. Headstone, HMS Marlin. This one, no, this is the Mech, the top deck one. So it makes you think that they will start emphasizing a bit more on top decking, right? Because if they just do the right thing, then obviously Contract Assassin pops off again. We got a sexy guy. Curve. Just bring the adult already, right? He needs an adult. And calling the big guns for the foil. Oh, there we go. Cog works. Fingerings, which is beautiful. That is definitely going in a puffin deck, right? So there's 6 plus the codex. Don't need the codex, so missing 3 legendaries. Then they just become extras. 2 are 1 after the equipment. I think the equipment's always in the same slot, so 1 after equipment. Line, divvy up. This is the only alarming side of this is, again, we haven't hit a single majestic in this box so far. It's either a bubble or an expansion slot at the back. Burn Bear. So, decent. I don't play Wizard. Oh, no, the equipment's in red. Nope, the equipment is definitely in random places. Never mind. Flying high, not so fast to go with our Scurv. All this needed to be was just interact with Drawer in general, and he'd be disgusting for Blitz. Although, I suppose the setup and bait is you give them a gold. Although there's not that many give a gold, right? It's just Tip the Barkeep. It's one of those weird ones, like the Golden Sky Warden. And that's the only card that actually interacts specifically with Golden Cogs, right? Now the Scooby. I am enjoying the rates of allies, right? It seems like in Sealed you'll generally get 6, which also should mean, well, no, draft-wise. If everyone goes for them in draft, then it'll be a little bit rough. Maybe he's not as playable in draft. But Sealed. Gravy definitely works for Sealed. Sirens for another gorgeous rainbow foil. So far, 1 Majestic. Oh, these are so easy to count too, because you have the Gravy Bones one that sticks out, right? So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 13 packs left. We've hit 1 Majestic. Lost in Transit. Midas Touch. That's decent. Do I have I guess just a common Majestic pile. Monkey Powder. Rough foil. That's 2 down. Should be around 4 to 6. Purposely lose a wage goal. Yeah, that's actually nice. Or yeah, in those heavy hitters matchups, it'll also be decent, except for Brute, right? But it's just one of those things. If it was just draw, even though that they've sort of pruned away draw, it would just be a lot more usable, right? They have more of a sideboard piece into certain matchups. Oh no! I get what you mean now. You play Wage Gold, but you scurve, so you're a low attack deck anyway. You lose it and then you steal it. That's actually cool. Yeah. How many different ways are they spelling Marlin in this set? I didn't look into that. That's actually a good one. Marlin on HMS, Marlin on Marlin. Is there a third one? The actual... What's the other spelling? I think there should be a third one. Alright. Probably pick up the pace a little bit. Portside Exchange. Mount City. Shifting Tides, which is another one I really like. And cool art. And a very, very E-Pot-like effect, right? Well, no, yeah, because even if you hit a red, you still get one, right? And it doesn't have the impeding effect of anti-pot, plus it has the 3 block. So I think that's actually really cool, design-wise. And I'm glad it's not generic. That would have been nice. Jack the Nimble. Cool, a Ruby Amulet. These also don't feel like they're short printed at 1/3. Feels like they're half short printed, which is a little annoying, but it makes sense because there's no Rainbow Fall variant of them. I think I have 4 of the amulets now. 3 of the amulets now. Not that I really plan to play Gravy that much. Lupin Harpoon. That's the only issue. The Harpoons are a little bit too sparse. I get that with Sealed, you're meant to lean into Treasure Island, but it makes me wonder for actual drafting how great Big Marlin will be. You won't have that much access. Zeppelin, Stallion, and nothing at the back. Yeah, so just have to hit like a string of 3 Majestics now. Or something better. I'll take something better. Fortune of the Wind, Money of Your Life, Rally, and nada. Kelpie, Fiddlers, with Water. Ah, the adult heroes. The bait and switch, right? So yeah, they made them basic, but they kept the rates. So I guess it's nice that they're the flip side, but for whatever reason, the flip sides are so confusing this set, right? Because usually they pair them up nicely so that they just everything's as common as it can possibly be. But you can get the heroes by themselves. You can get the heroes with Treasure Island, I believe, or it might just be Marlin that you can get by yourself, and then you can get them as flip sides to the adult. And that's just interesting choice. But overall, they've kept the adults as sparse as they have been, basically, right? I think that's my only second one as well. I think I have a Marlin, and now I have Gravy Bones. So, yeah. People should be happy-ish, but on the surface, it's not that great. Oh. So, Cog, and a shiny Cog. This one doesn't work so well. This one's a bit flat for the Rainbow Foil. I would assume they just used the same, what would you call it? Foiling choice, right? When they select the areas and do the highlights and however they do it, right? I don't know that side of printing for the top layer, right? But it looks like it'll be how the cold foil will be foiled, rather than highlighting say the background. And I assume it's rust, right? Because it's green. And a Preach Modesty, and this card is I really like this card too. As a playmat, this would be pretty cool, right? Alright, 6 left. That was our 3rd or 4th Majestic. Yo-ho-ho. Fiddler's Green. A shiny Harpoon. Although we want them in the extended, right? Extended look good. The capsulus. On the Zeppelin. That's my third trophy shot, so that's one playset down. Nice. And nada. I think one more Majestic to be on rate. Barracuda, Advanced G, Tangling Shots, and no expansion. The locals already have like too few young heroes and weapon tokens and other tokens we draft. Subbing for over the adult heroes would, yeah. But see, that's where the correct flip sides. So think Treasure Island. Treasure Island is stupidly apparent in this set for whatever reason. But even with Treasure Island concealed, for one, we had the pre-release packs, regardless, right? Doesn't have any relevancy, so does it really have to be a token? I suppose we didn't get our pre-release kits where I went last night, so it does sort of make sense in that regard. But it doesn't need to be on the back of every single hero, right? I'll start setting aside the tokens so we can go through them, because yeah, this set just baffles me with the choicing for that. Oh, shiny loan shark. That's 2 loan sharks as well, so that's good. So yeah, so you have the micro cards. I suppose Treasure Island is too much text for it to be the micro. But even this could have just been gold, gold kiss rum, and then cog gold, rather than having 2 sets of this as well, right? And then the 2 weapons are fine. I think gravy, it goes compass. What do I do with the foil? Right, this is a loan shark. Marvel's only in a treasure pack. So there is the set of minions, gravy, in the actual set, along with the heroes. And then there's less marvels in the treasure pack, so to speak, right? There's the amulets at a ridiculous rate, right? Although they're rare. And then just Harpoon and Polly as the other 2. I feel like there's a third one that I'm missing. No, it was 11 in total, so 9 and 2. Yeah. Treasure Island should just... Yes. Yeah, that would be simple enough. Back on the back of Cracked Bubble. But even in that scenario of Cracked Bubble, there's too few of them to matter anyway, right? For drafting. Because you're like... Everyone who say needs 1, you're not going to get enough. They're very, very uncommon. So utilizing another way, sticking it on the back of something would have been good as well. Redfin Harpoon, Fire in the Hole, Swindler's Grip, so Spitfire, and our Blunderbuss. And again, this is where we get our gold and our cog, for whatever reason, right? Like the heavy hitters, it was 4. I get that they don't have 1, I suppose, so they can't go gold, golden cog, gold kiss rum, something. I suppose they could have done the Harpoon, right? That would have been fine. You can have a little micro card in hand. Maybe? No? Alright. Lucky last from the first box. Out the high seas. Did I skip a ray? I did then. We're back on track with the Majestics. I think we just went over, right? I think that's our 7th. Count. Foil. Weapon, Treasure Island. And another weapon, so I don't need that one. A case is 4 boxes, yes. So the mentality is in a case you should find a legendary, right? Because they should be 1 in 96. That's the mentality behind buying a case. Buying a box, not as favorable. But, now you have the treasure pack slot. It used to be just a cold foil, and that cold foil could result in anywhere from a common to a legendary, right? So, less favorable. And then loose packs were sparser, but then you could hit that really high, right? Loose packs now are a little bit awkward because they cut out or gutted a lot of it, right? So, the pool's a lot smaller, aside from hitting Majestics, but Majestics are not fantastic to just dive for off of single packs. So, yeah, the go generally is a case for a box, especially now, right? Or just buy singles. If there's stuff you're really chasing, you're not going to buy a lot of a set, buy singles. Because it's like, if you're at the highest, 8 Majestics a pack, 8 Majestics a box, and that's at the really high end. For instance, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? We get 7, average should be about 6. And then a lot of stuff you need playsets of 3. Right? So you're not going to find, in a case, most likely, playsets of what you want. You can get really lucky and do that, but yeah. If you're gonna buy to get the high, I definitely suggest cases. If you're gonna buy for a little bit of fun, boxes are fine. But if there's stuff you're really chasing, old adage, stick to singles. Alright. Box number 2. Foil gold can worth a bit. Probably not, unfortunately. Because there's promo variants that are better than it. It's also the most common in the treasure pack. So for every box, there's basically 1 foil gold. Like, for instance, we should get 1 in this. Most likely. Unless I'm a little bit more lucky than usual. Yeah, treasure. And then Swindler's Grift. So far the treasure packs, meh. Probably separate them. I think I've always hit gold, yeah. So I have 3 gold so far. 3 from 3 for the packs. But there's the chance of something crazy in them at a rate of 1 in 1,000, which also doesn't work out, right? Because I suppose not everyone has started hitting them, but all like the big people who buy a ton of boxes just to buy singles have been hitting cases hard, and there has been that much found. So I think the 1 in 1,000 is as like a gross underestimation, because it also doesn't seem like there's anything else lurking there. It's just what they showed, and what they showed is not enough to account for the expected size of the set, as in the print size. I ended up. So this is from pre-release, right? The store I went to for pre-release. I got 2 cases from them. Everyone else is not shipped yet, which is not unexpected, right? Considering release is end of next week, so usually, hopefully, they will have shipped them by mid. But they did update the ruling, so they could have shipped them, I think, right? From pre-release as a go. I can't remember if that was the case. But yeah, fingers crossed I do get my other pre-orders. I mean, they haven't cancelled yet, so I doubt them. Oh, they could be last-minute cancels, I suppose. I wonder how many gold cards, physically cards, you should have for easy play. So golden cogs, yes, you will need a lot of them. And it almost feels like they should have made golden cog the common one, and then gold being the other. For constructed, it feels like 3 to 4 at most is what you should be going for. Maybe fringely you can get to 5 with some of the burst put cogs into play. But generally speaking, 3 is like the sweet spot, because that's what you really want for all your effects anyway. And then copper cogs are meant to make up the rest. Portside Exchange, Gold Hunter, Nada at the back, but I don't think I put Red Spine aside. Also in my way now. LGS only letting me get my pre-orders on release day. Really? That's interesting. So our store, their mentality was if they were getting them in batches, right? Then obviously they put what's needed towards pre-release and events, and then they'll handle the orders. But they ended up getting everything, so that's why everyone could pick up everything that they grabbed, including the Gravy Bones decks. But if it's the other scenario of something like, they want to see how much they end up getting first, then maybe it's a little rough, right? If you're gonna take pre-orders, I mean, again, the policy was updated, so you should. Well, they're allowed to sell them, I suppose, is the policy, not you're allowed to get them. But yeah. Just one more week. I usually have to wait. Actually, I usually have to wait 2 weeks, right? Because I mainly buy online. So, say they get shipped on release, which is the Friday, then they won't come till the Monday, because no shipping on weekend. Limpets, Zeppelin, a Walk the Plank, and another Puffin with a Treasure Island. No, it was still under, which was nice. Although, I think Australia, nowhere has ever hit. They're ridiculous now. In fact, I think some places are over, and I think it's like 200. Is this falling? I've not done it correctly. God. I think I just made it worse. I'm trying to... My hands are in an awkward position where I'm hitting the edge of my desk. A little better. Oh, God. I have to do math. I think if 560 was what was said. I can't remember if it was changed. But, yeah, 560 is still decently under, right? Because it's recommended for Australia is 175, so that's 350. So it should be 700 a case, right? So that's still a decent discount. I think on average, I picked the majority up for around 520 average. So I got in early and I got ones that were still at. So majority Australia used to be around 460 to 480 for cases, which is crazy to think about, right? Again, that was $40 under MSRP or something like that, which is only like 20 to 30 USD, but still really nice, right? And a luxury that it's fine to go away because that's what it should never have been. But yeah, so I got in early and I got a fair few for like 460, 480, 500. I think only got a couple that were over what I paid at the actual store I went to, just because I had an order cancelled, so I was scrambling for a couple more. Barracuda, sea legs, cool. Another majestic, because I forget where my piles are. I am not in the USA. I am down under. Ah, that's even worse. There you go. Compass with another treasure island. For whatever reason. Yeah, Australia. And also, don't forget, our taxes rolled into it. So that's also really nice. I mean, we're still a ways away from, MTG. Because that was one of the main reasons that I did swap as well. Marlin's by herself. Could have been Marlin adult. I suppose they needed the arrow mechanism for new people. 1 year of life, Copper Cog, and our Bounce City. I'm thinking of the other people again. Yeah, you can see them, Marvel. It's Chowder. Gain some life. And you want to see the full art, right? Yeah, no. For whatever reason, they didn't do them. They didn't give it a full art side. Sad. But they still look nice. Hopefully we pull some more. It doesn't seem like they're scarce, like the rates are changed. It feels like they're clustered. We had someone pull ridiculous amount from their cases. But I mean, so far it's about one a case, which is I guess still rough considering you want threes of the majority of them. Jack be quick. Cog in the machine, beautiful. This I need a playset of. Early bones. This one's understandable, right? Because they go back into your deck if you can. No, no. There's not any think mechanics in this, right? There's only discard, and if it's discard, it gets destroyed. Because that's the idea, right? Because you can create a golden harpoon, and then that can pay for a bunch of different things in actual constructed play. That's why it doesn't have any token on the backside. I'd like a Marlin. Don't think I'd care for a Gravy. I like the younger art for Gravy. I'd like there you go, I'd like a young Gravy Marvel. I can just play him. Nada and no Majestic. Already have both of them. I think we're almost through the tokens. So we did hit a legendary. God, I need. You know what? I have all these junk piles that I'm sure lots of you don't really care about. Why don't we space this a bit differently so I can actually show you the hits, right? So commons. I should probably just clear after every box. Rares out of the way. So we can just lay out the hits nicely, I think, right? So Chowder, Hogworks, Sea Lace, and then nothing super exciting from the treasure packs. You got a sunken treasure previously. So from this box, from this case, only Cogworks. The other stuff I pulled previously. Yeah, I'm not big on the zombies either. Like, it's cool for the class. Okay. But I'm definitely more into Rangers. And apparently now, Max. It's something that I never expected. The Ranger legs are a good one yet, though. Right? They're the most functional piece. So it feels like they just slot in. They're 2-block anyway, right? I suppose there's still some rationales for Purge Grapplers. Well, Fool's Gold Shiny. Gravy, there you go. Yeah, so you get Gravy as an adult with Gravy, and you get Gravy with Treasure Island, right? There's so many Treasure Islands. Where's the foils aren't needed either. Foils are more a me thing. Rares, foils. Fools, but not fools. And then, yeah, now we can space them out a little bit better. I suppose they should still be stacked on. We still have a fair bit to go. You want zombie dinosaurs, though. I mean, I think that's the thought, right? The next Necromancer appearance will be with Brute and Savage Lands, right? So that would be a cool theme if it's all like, you know, saber-toothed tigers, just big animals. I'd probably dig that too then, with all my my animal science backgrounds. Or the ship, crash down the gates. That's good. Now I messed up. Foil, rares, junk. Silver, Town City, Italian, and then adults. Marlin with Marlin, and then another treasure island. Don't know if I put Puffin aside. So we're hitting the Majestic this time around. In my foils. The Sunken Treasure, with that lighting right now, looks gorgeous. I'm liking the foils too much. Don't want to have to play with them. Another Burn Bear, which is good, right? Because we're fishing for playsets. Do not play Ranger. that the bad? I'm sure you could trade them. Yeah, then another Marlin with the info card. Yeah, the Conqueror's and is really good. We do want a Marvel. At the very least, one from the case. Rub the deck. That was Reflex. Let's go up there. Let's go there. Golden Tibble. I like the little cereal of whatever this guy's getting up to as well. Not the Treasure Island, we already had one. Oh. Bubble or better. That's a Golden Harpoon. So, all the expansion slot cards, aside from maybe Escalates, feel like just hits, right? That all do something for their respective class. So that's actually kind of tough to say. I have to look through the ones we've got so far. I think probably a bit unexpectedly, my pick that I really like is Riddle with a Grat. I know a lot of people don't, but it can be really, really fun. Okay, actually, we've hit a bunch of the expansion slot. So Bam Bam, its text is fine. It's just that it's another yellow 3-block 6 power, right, for Brute. Makes it really good. Arcane Compliance is a headache, but necessary. Everblooming Life for Verdance is nice. Escalate Bloodshed, it's too slow. Because it's negative, neutral, positive. Is that right? No, it's neutral, negative. No, it's neutral, positive, positive, right? So you play it even on your opponent's end phase, right? You're down a card, you get a card back. On their next turn, they get a card, right? So they get the first positive stage. Undercover Acquisition is just... I guess that's probably the weakest, just because it's fair. Burn Bear, just having a nice, big arcane spell. The Wizard is good. And I really like Preach Modesty. So hard to say which of them is, the most fantastic. Because they've just... maybe seconds on the lower end as well. The Runeblade one obviously was made for, countering CYB. So it does drop off, I suppose. But I do like just the Unpreventable Arcane Ping that you can amp. Kind of nice. But maybe it's too fair as well. Just being a 0-3, basically. Another Scurv. So we hit... It feels like we're hitting one a case. Roughly. It's a shame. We didn't actually... I think we had 2 Scurvs at the pre-release. Maybe there was more. Maybe I didn't notice. But, yeah. Sad that I didn't get to play him. Seems so fun. And interesting. I'll probably end up playing him. Oh! Pretty sure it's another ally then. Alright. Divvy up. Draw back. And I missed a rare. Well. Limpet. That's a good one. So second Marvel is a nice Limpet. Again, could have been a little bit more glorious. But still, as the, the one go again, I think Limpet's a solid Marvel hit, right? It brings us to 2. Probably do that. That's probably a better organization, right? Legendaries. And Sunken Treasure. One case or display? One case. So 4 displays. Or 4 boxes. I don't think I've ever seen a store use the boxes as displays. Right? I hate that term for them. No one folds it back nicely and leaves it on a counter, right? Oh, that's the first rare. Flying high, not so fast. Crash down the gates, and then another Graveyard Treasure. Yeah. You don't need the treasure islands at the rate of the young heroes. Haven't seen as many flying highs as I expected. They felt like they should be like really good filler pieces for the draft and sealed. I think Chowder's a playable ally as well, right? I think everyone is undervaluing the 5 life that he offers. Although your opponent doesn't have to clear it, but then it becomes 3 life. No, if your opponent doesn't clear him straight away, it becomes 4 life, right? Which is still great. Nope. Oh, another Preach Modesty. Actually hitting playsets is great. Actually hitting playsets in a case and a half is even crazier, actually. Oh, there is an M, and I believe it's the assassin one, right? Monkey Powder, Nimby. No. Oh, an EA. An EA Harpoon. Oh, that's great. There's the other rare. That's definitely a hit as well. I think I saw them going for a couple hundred, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, this is a good case. All we need now is like a treasure pack hit. Shifting, crash, tough hold, and nada. You want me to sleeve them? I don't even know where my sleeves are. I'm a neat person. I don't have long nails. I'm not gonna just I'm just putting it to bed. If I can dissect a kangaroo, I think I'm tactile enough to not worry about sleeves. But we'll sleeve them after the box. Alright, like it last, and then we're halfway through the case. The only reason I sleeve these is because they were going to be shaking around in my car driving home. Evo, another harpoon. That's good. I think we have 1 and 1, so still far off from the playset. Bluefin as the foil, and no. I feel like we've gone the tokens so far. So it's compass, hero, hero, hero-ish. Let's do it this way. How many treasure islands are there? Right, there's 3 so far. Weapon, gold token. Yeah, so for whatever reason, they decided they needed Treasure Island to be common. The weapons are fine, right? If anything, it should have just been Compass with Treasure Island on the flip side, right? And then these could have just been young adult heroes. Could have been the go. And then you just go into tweaking the actual rates, right? Where you make the weapons slightly more common, etc. But yeah, the adult heroes have been changed, but not. They're still just as sparse. I guess the only difference is they don't compete with the expansion slot anymore, which will be interesting trying to factor that into the odds. Sleeves. I want the semi-fit though. I think the Majestics because they're what I normally use. Overpack down here. Let's see. EA is definite. And our limpet. New macro idea. Token island, same effects. As treasure item, instead of gaining gold, the person who gets hit has to eat a token card. I actually wanted like Treasure Island Light, but rather than the endless amount of counters, just being a way to generate 1 gold, similar to like the Deathmatch Arena, something fringe, but still something you could put into play. Would have been cool. Because it's such a fun mechanic. And yeah, like the landmark stuff, they definitely could be, they could do a lot more with it. All right, Xbox. Is the treasure pack gonna have something this time around? And I can start packing away the commons as well. It's kind of funny that they made commons more. Sorry, they made basics to a pack, right? But then it's not the things you want, right? Like the main reason they're outsiders is because they had Ponder, Inertia, Frailty, and they didn't have the micro cards yet. Alright. That's as full as it needs to be. Okay. Ooh. I'll cut it. Make it neat. What is it going to be? Do it this way. So, middle card's not marble. I believe Poly is double-sided. I don't know if the amulets are, actually. Another gold. Okay, Poly is not double-sided. Never mind. I thought Poly was double-sided. So wait, so the only marvels in the set that are double-sided are the heroes. And they were the one marvel that initially I thought wasn't going to be double-sided, that they have some sort of like ship mechanic on the backside. Ooh. Oh no, that's actually scuffed. That's not me. Is it? I can't tell if that's the like the edge damaged or if it's white. No, it is the edge damage. It's been cut badly. Oh well. Foreplay anyway. Definitely wanted a Poly. Now we hope to not get it. That's the only problem is now I don't want him as rainbow foil. I do think he could have just been majestic short printed in the set. I'm very curious to find out what the actual odds are on everything. I doubt they obviously disclose the treasure packs, but funny enough, if they disclose the actual set size, then a lot of it can be sort of reverse engineered / guessed at. Bracket, money, and a lubricate. Lubricate does seem like a fun card. But Poly is definitely better than just, the majority of the pirate cards. Thinker, paddle, plank, and a bubble. Another fun inclusion they could have done is like Fool's Gold, just replacing the cracked bubble every now and then, instead of actually being in the set. Rub, Bat City, Restless, nada. Yeah, it does seem like the marvels are hard to find. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Polly and the Harpoon, right? that they are not that far off of the amulets anyway. Like in terms of rarity goes, probably something like the lost treasures, 1 in 1,000. The amulets, like 1 in 250, 1 in 300, something like that. Then the marvels, Holly in Goldfin Harpoon. Then the cold foils legendaries. Then the like higher pirate stuff. Then the cold foil common, something like that. We'll get the pep to bubble one day, maybe. Probably not. Feels like every set though could have like a specially themed bubble, and that'd be a kind of a neat little twist. Because I do collect the bubbles, but they're majorly just the bubbles, except for the the initial stage of cracking more. Oh, Cog works. Also another very interesting majestic with the steam counter stuff. I think this would have been absolutely crazy though if it was just steam counters on anything, right? Create a cog and put steam counters on other items. It would have been really nuts, but still a very nice majestic. It's all about the golden number of cogs. Yeah, so I think the cold foils are still at about 1 a case, or should be slightly more or less. Same thing. That's what it feels like. Like in a case cold foil equipment, then you get like 2-ish pirate cards, and then maybe that other slot could be a marvel or something else. Generally, it's going to be a pirate card. But yeah, the marvels and treasure pack, which makes sense because obviously the pool is so shrunken. LSS usually do a decent job. That if you think about the majority of marvels, aside from like the really exclusive stuff like Emperor, for instance, they always sit about the same rates. It's just about the actual pool size. Aside from the amulets. But I'm not going to count them as part of the actual card pool. To me, the marvel slot is mostly just, pulling harpoons. Which harpoons are a shame. Well, I suppose you can't get more than one. Unless you're cycling them back into your deck. Which is probably not the intended interaction. Century, Lost, and a Gold Hunter. The Majestics also feel clustered as well. So we go dry for a while, and then all of a sudden we find a pocket. Being a witch. Gum. Ooh. It's always just the commonest of common cards. Although this is a decent common card, even though it's specific to gravy, countering gravy. I mean, but that's a pretty nice looking foil. You get the light correctly, right, with the underwater. Oh, and an expansion slot majestic. So second Earthbloom life, almost to a playset. We'll have to count the playsets afterwards. Yes, only one case so far. Hopefully next time should have a larger amount to run through. Release is until this week. And I bought from a whole bunch of different places. Obviously the set's very nutty. Yeah, the main issue with all the prices right now is everything's leading into the tournament season, right? It's a shame it has to be what it is for that span of time, but they will obviously get reined in over time. I did notice another scuffed token. The minor thing, but there has been I've noticed a decent chunk of scuff tokens. What did I miss? Police balls. Football legendaries were open like 4 times. I guess it's situation fine because people need places to buy the singles before US Nats, only one case. Oh, sorry. I get what you mean. What I've missed. No. Alright. Weirdly, this is out of 2 boxes and a sealed, right? Those 4. So we'll tuck them aside to avoid the confusion. This so far has been 3 boxes out of the case. I'm not going to do this for the Majestics. I cannot be bothered. Right? So far, hit 1 legendary, hit an EA. The EA is probably rarer than a case. Hit Poly, hit 1 Marvel. But technically, that should be all the high-end stuff. And then the other gold foil pirate cards. I should stop saying gold foil because that, infringes on gold foils. The pirate booty, most of it has been rares and commons. And by that, I mean the 2 other cards that we pulled. Caution, nothing. I mean, as it stands, though, what is that? Yeah. I think they might have been a little rushed on this set. Like, usually that's the type of thing we notice once in a case. It's like our 3rd time noticing something a little scuffed. Luckily, it's on a common. Nothing. Portside Exchange. I haven't looked at this in foil. Another nice one, right? You have the background and the market stalls and everything. Nada. I keep looking at the Majestic stack, and it does feel more than usual. They must have upped the rates. I'll have to do some digging afterwards. Not the high seas, so that's our 2nd one, which is good. 1 off the playset. Foil. Alright. People want to see. It's more about knowing what wasn't there, I suppose. 3 gold. Gold Hunter. And Swindlers. So, our treasure pools. And just 3 gold tokens so far. So far, I've seen a Bravo has been pulled from the Lost Treasure slot, and the Min-Max pulled the Library printing proof, which was just double-sided, no text. I think actually it says Library of Solana, but aside from that, gorgeous card. But should see a ton more as the days go on. I'm surprised not as many were pulled from the Premiere. Because they hit a ton of the Enigmas for Misval, right? And yeah, a fair few amulets have also been pulled. Oh, a Dread Thread, so that's 2 legendaries in this box. That's good. What am I missing? Poly, Sea Lace, Cogworks, Dread Threads, Codex. So I don't really care. I don't like the new Codex. So in one case, I've hit all the legendaries. That's making me rethink if I need the 8 cases. Oh. But I did 6 for the hunted, and I still ended up never pulling a mask. Which was fine, because it was, the cheapest one. Azalea as well, so 3. Actually, thinking on it, their rationale might be that they include the amulets as the lost treasure as well, for that 1 in 1,000 rate. Because they definitely seem more... They definitely seem harder to pull. Yes, and the chain I did see actually as well. So 4. 4 out of 60-something was what was shown. Right? 17, and then 8 sets of 4. 51? Did I do that math right? So 4 out of 51 of the big things. We still don't know if there's something else, but I think it will end up coming out that the amulets were included in the lost treasure rate, which kind of rough. Another compliance. Yeah, the store. The cases that this store came from. So many people hit some really, really good stuff. Jack be quick. Platinum amulets. Normal platinum amulet. But yeah, with 1 box left, I'm pretty sure that's fantastic. Like the EA alone, I'm pretty sure is already ridiculous, right? Alright, we'll do this treasure pack last. Considering we're opening them first and getting nothing. So we'll tuck that away. I wouldn't mind 1 more Marvel. That'd be nice. Even if it's a young. I think young Marlin with Death Dealer would be kind of interesting. Otherwise, yeah. Definitely a fan of the young Graveyard. Even though it makes no sense, right? Because his crew is all alive, but he's still summoning the allies. I think that would have been actually a cool twist. If the Marvels were double-sided and they had who they were before they died. Because like Chum is like 3 of them are clearly clear on the actual graveyard. But I suppose that would have been a lot of work. For just a, minor fun payoff. Alright. Rob? Where is my common pile? Commons. Grub. Nada. Sorry, I'm getting messed up by order. Nada. Nada. And adult Marlin though. So adult Marlin is flip side with normal Marlin as well. So all of the adults must be flip side with normal. Which is just a weird thing to then add into the pool, along with another set of the young. Alright. Harpoon? It's probably going to be a Harpoon. That's not a Harpoon. So, second acquisition. That's good too. But lost from the Japan pack, so slippery. Kirby, Foil Midas Touch. I like bets, so although I open a lot, I generally open as much as I need. I do end up with extras, but not a crazy amount. Although we have hit so many so far. We'll count out the playsets. I blow in the water. Nada, nada. I did do really good on like the hunted. I think I had 3 or 4 extra shelters, which is crazy. No EA though. Restless, nada. Alright, this one has to be a harpoon. Yeah. Not so fast. Scooby. Ethan the Cogs. The Galvanize is winning back. I kind of wish it still, though, had correct block, or at least the +1 to make it correct block, along with the Cog effect. I do like the idea of, throwing 2 out and getting 1 drawback. But maybe not for actual constructed. Nada. Lubricates. Another cog in the machine, so that's another almost playset. There's how many? 33. Right? It was 46 minus the 13 expansion slot, minus the 9 amulets. Is that correct? 24? 24 seems too few. There are actually less Majestics overall in this set? Actually might be the case. Do have my box. I've organized Majestics somewhat. I also had a stack somewhere. Oh! It actually doesn't look like a lot, right? But, yeah. They're just Majestics by actual classes. Yeah. Center. Just all the playsets and stuff that I need. So, yeah. I have the majority of things. But at the same time, I also don't go out and then buy stuff that I'm missing, which is, I guess, kind of a bad habit. Because I could have kept up to date. I think the only, 2 classes that I do just never touch and get rid of straight away is Wizard and Runeblade. So if I'm missing Majestics, for them too is the majority. Shifting Tides, again, so beautiful. But yes, I collect. I open to collect, which is not always the correct method. That's fun. And sometimes you get lucky. Like when we opened a Cold Boil Shard. First Aeronaut. And that said, in terms of play, I usually just keep 1 active deck for each. So 1 Blitz, 1 Living Legend, 1 Classic Constructed. Then everything else sits in that box. Oh. There. And not Riptide. God. And his ally ability is the same, so whenever you play a card, you get to Arsenal something. That would have been crazy. I mean, he is kind of bloated and, rotting. So that's another sort of, feels bad, right? I do have a cold foil Riptide that now just I would assume is worth nothing because the gem packs definitely drop them in a reasonable amount. He's coming in the next gem pack. Oh, I see. Oh, and then weirdly, can't remember if these are my extra, but I have my legendaries just in a stack somewhere here. That's not them. So yeah, that's a bad habit as well. They used to be in a book, but because they're a bit more functional, I just decided to take them all out. Well, Riddle with Regret. So again, I really like this card, even though it's kind of a negative. If it had 3 block, I think it'd be great. If it didn't have the own life loss, I'd also really like it. So if this read something like at the beginning of each hero's end phase, how would they word this? It would have to be sort of reversed because I want the destruction effect on your turn, but not the life loss, right? Because this counts itself. So as soon as you play it, it's already 1 life less for you. But then if you can start consistently racking up, 1 blood rot, one frailty, or even 2 of each, or 2 of 1, right? Then it's a decent extra ping because it activates when this is triggered, right? So even if they clear the blood rot or the frailty before this resolves, it still counts them. So it is a nice way to do, like a bleed build, rot build that pings down your opponent slowly. But it's that 1 life loss to yourself, I guess, is a little rough. Fiddlers, nothing. Rusty, nothing. I would also like a Harpoon from the treasure pack. That'd be nice too. One too many. John, of course, is also really cool. Art-wise. And I like the mechanic. Especially on the blue. Okay. So, 3 legendary case. Pumping is real. Or, well, no. 3 doesn't account for it. I was going to say the rates are back to like 1 in 70 packs, 1 in 80 packs. It'd have to be about 1 in 70 for 2 legendary cases to be consistent. But this being a 3 legendary cases. A bit ridiculous. And Dread Threads is definitely the good one, with all the gravy love at the moment. Another Jolly Bludger. I think that's our second one. That's also really nice. So I suppose it doesn't have to be a marble. An extra marble at this point would just be overkill. That was the wrong way. Foils go on that side. I think I yoinked a foil as well. Alright. 4 packs left. I don't really think we need anything else. But I mean, if it's there, I'll take it. Nope. Oh, expansion or Goldfin. Goldfin. Alright. Leave Marlin to last, actually. Not that you can see. Desk is too crowded. Yeah, rare, foil, nothing. So, 1 more Majestic, maybe? Marvel, maybe? We still have the treasure back anyway. Which is definitely fine, it's just a normal common or rare. Oh, it is not an M. Damn, I really wish I had more to open. Alright. All we need is a EA legendary. Round it out. Another dread threads. Did I not cut that? Oh, there we go. So it is another gold. So we're 4 for 4 on the gold. Gonna be. Hopefully I pull enough cogs. I should pull enough cogs in the packs, right? So the marbles aren't actually double-sided. That's good to know. It is Rust Belt. What do I even put there? Not bad. Actually, I think it's pretty bad. I mean, it is battle worn gain of resource, which is kind of nice. But for commoner and blue, it's nice. The unicycle one is actually, I think, going to be one of the better ones, right? Untapping a cog is kind of really strong. Plus then battle worn. But still, in terms of a case, right? That aside, the gold doesn't matter. They don't really matter. Right? An EA Harpoon. Polly. 2 dead threads. Tinkerings. So I'm basically done on legendaries, right? I have all 5. We did get a marble by way of limpet. Question is, how are we doing on Majestic playsets? I think I remember the card, so we can separate what I pulled previously. I do not have any Battle Dual Pulps. I play averagely. The one shot was from this pack. I didn't have that many from previous packs. I can't remember now. But I do want to know playset wise. So we'll sort them by class and expansion slot first, I think. Plus generic. I'm already messing this up. There's a charm. I think we're good on compliances. And maybe Midas's touches. And maybe ceilings. Although, I don't want the foils. I think I messed up one loan shark there, didn't I? Alright. First round of sorting. So, 2 blood in the waters. 2 chart the high seas. Alright, so that's not a bad start from one case. That is from one case. This is from one box and sealed. Surprisingly. Right? The Majestics are mixed up. But, you know, it should only be, you know, actually like 6 Majestics. 7, 8 at most. Alright, and a chunk. So we're still missing a decent chunk of Necro. Which is fine. We're going to be opening a lot more. Oh, kind of tear. We have 2 Jollies. Which Jolly is apparently short printed, but maybe not. So that's nice as well. There's 5 per. Except for Necro, who has the allies, I believe. No, I think it's all 5, right? So what are we missing? Golden Sky Warden. We're missing from Mech. Otherwise, we would have hit 1 of each Majestic so far. So maybe that feels a little bit clumped. We have all trophy shots and only 1 King Kraken. So we're missing the 2 normal Ranger ones and then the other Harpoon so far. 2 tips, 2 Loan Sharks, 1 Conqueror. There's 4, we're missing Sunken Treasure. But the variants in a case is actually doing decently. And then the amulets are amulets, so they can sort of be by themselves. Get a playset of Sea Legs. we hit almost a playset of minus touch. And we've hit 4 of the 9 amulets so far. So yeah, so the amulets, they mustn't be 1 1/3 short print. I think they're only half short printed because there's no rainbow foil, which isn't really a great metric for them to use, right? Considering the rainbow foils are sparse anyway. So, decent start to the collection. 2 arcane compliances, 2 bam bams, 2 lights. We're getting basically 2s of the majority of things, which does make that final piece a little bit rough to find. 2 preachers, 2 burn bears, 2 acquisitions, and then 1 escalate, 1 riddle. We didn't see surface shaking at all. My memory's trying to work. 12 in total. We didn't see a codex, which is fine. I don't really want the codex. But I think we haven't seen the Auxilio one either. So we haven't seen a few cards. But overall still very, very decent pulls, right? So many duplicates though. So I already have a spare Sorol, and I have a spare Death Threads. Other than that, I have Poly to play Puffin if I want. The Kraken, that's probably just going in my EA book anyway. Sunken Treasure. Is Sunken Treasure all that playable? It's just a 3-block? It's a gorgeous card, though. And then 2 out of the Nightmare collection of allies, which I'm definitely not going to go for. I don't think I've gone for any of the marbles to collect. Actually, no, the dragons. I do have that somewhere. But yeah, collecting Gravy's allies is just going to be ridiculous. There's 19, isn't there? I think I place these up somewhere. How many marbles in total? It's that minus 6. 21 minus 6, so 15? There's 15 different marbles you have to pull, all at 3 of. Yikes. But looking like I probably won't have to trade for anything, except maybe like a cringe majestic here or there. On that, I think that's everything. God, I wish I had another case, something to go into it. But we'll just have to wait a week, I suppose. Nothing else I have at hand to open. Nope. MTG, if anyone cares for MTG, I think I have old boxes somewhere. Oh, but I think that does us for today. Still, a really nice box overall. Hopefully everything shows up early, and I can do it next weekend. Crack a ton more than this. But I guess I'll do. Anyone hanging around? Thanks as always. Thanks for chilling, watching us crack some fun packs. Got a treasure packet. That's nice enough already, right? All right. We're there for today.